What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday. That means it's time for a weekly price prediction video for AMC stock, and I think it's pretty clear to see what's going to happen this week, and I think you guys will get a lot of value out of this. Keep in mind, this all revolves around this new COVID variant and how investors are really digesting this news over the weekend. Some headlines have been okay, some headlines have just been to spark fear in people's minds, so that'll be interesting to see after 6 p.m. tonight when the futures open, how investors are digesting this, and we should get a decent gauge of if we are at least going to be red tomorrow or if we are going to be green, maybe substantially red, maybe very green. It's all going to depend on this one thing. Hopefully we get news about this today. If we do, these recovery stocks, including AMC, are going to bounce back aggressively, and that's what we're going to talk about here in this video, as well as go over the short interest, the stock tracker data, and everything else you guys need to know. So hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you guys do want to support the channel and help yourselves out with getting free shares as well, check out the links for Moomoo, the link for Public, and the link for Webull. If you guys are not signed up with any of those brokerages, highly recommend you guys do so. That is where I've been doing a majority of my trading, is those 3 brokerages. So let's first off acknowledge what happened on Friday with AMC stock, and we were down 3.24% in regular trading, down 0.08% here in the after hours market. And AMC dropped way less than its peers. If you're talking about the cruise line stocks, the airline stocks, those all dropped in between 7 and 10%. Some of those dropped even more than that. And that is the same realm that AMC is in. But even its movie theater competitors like Cinemark and Cineworld dropped 8.3% and 5.2%. So AMC is definitely holding its own during these times of great volatility. And we only seen 19.7 million shares that traded hands, aka the volume on the day, which is almost another record low. This is telling you guys, apes are not panicking. They're not selling their shares for good reason. There's no reason, in my opinion, to sell your stock in AMC because the shorts have not covered. This is ultimately going to blow over, and we're going to see a massive rally back because of this, and because AMC is showing a lot of resiliency, you're going to see a lot more people more inclined to buy AMC stock yet again. So overall, what you guys need to know is AMC is showing a lot more resiliency than other stocks in the same realm, in the same sector, that share a lot of the same risk. If you're talking about a potential COVID variant that could cause all these lockdowns or do something crazy, AMC is performing very well. At least that's what we've seen on Friday. Now, as far as what you guys need to know, and we're going to dive into the price prediction, before I give you guys that, I want to go over some context around this, because we have not gotten any news, really concrete news, about the vaccine efficacy rate. So in my eyes, as long as the vaccine efficacy rate, which means basically what's the percentage that it actually works, as long as this is over, let's say 50%, then I think the market will take that as positively. Really, if it's over like 40%, that should be okay, but 50% and over, that'll be a great thing. That basically means we're not set back 2 years. They don't have to make a brand new virus for this. Basically, lockdown fears are gone at that moment. Now, if this comes in very low, let's say 10 or 20%, we're definitely in for a beating. I think that is very unlikely because it's still the same virus. It's just I shouldn't say slightly, it's very mutated, but still the same virus. This should, have a bullish response. We should see at least a 50% efficacy rate. And once that happens, it doesn't even matter if people are getting the vaccine, because this is going to be at minimum 6 weeks from now, and then 100 days after that before people start actually getting this new vaccine, if that's the route these vaccine makers plan to go. It's only going to matter once we get those efficacy numbers, and as soon as we get those, we're either going to see a big drop or a very big pop in all of these recovery stocks. And I think that is going to happen here in the near term future, because we did get that first case November 9th. So they have had quite a while to look into this. And even, let's say the past week, they probably have some level of an idea if this is going to work against this new variant or if it's not going to. Now, you can argue between your friends, your family, whatever the case is about this, but that's not what we're here for here on this channel. We're about making you guys money, try to see what is going to happen next with AMC, because they are in one of the most hardest hit sectors if this is a big problem. So we have to stay up to date with this, no matter who likes this or who hates this. Hopefully you guys don't hate me for it, but let's get into the price prediction. And for this week, it all depends if we get this vaccine news. But in my personal opinion, what is going to happen is this. So let's talk about this a little bit more in depth. So essentially, what I think is going to happen, what I actually think is going to happen, I think that we are going to make another move to the downside close to this support level that we have drawn out at about $35 per share. I think we're going to make this move downwards on Monday because I don't expect any vaccine efficacy rate numbers to come out, on today, on Sunday, or really on Monday. It could happen. If that does happen, we'll get a boost back up. But I think we will retest this 35, $34.50, $35 level, hit this support, and then bounce back up because we hit that support, and because I'm sure these the travel sector, the hospitality, the leisure sectors are going to sell off. You're going to see that bounce because people naturally, this day and age, want to buy the dip. So I do think you're going to hit that $35 support level. And then you're going to bounce back up to about where we are currently at about $37 per share. Now, this could go one of two ways. If we get really bad efficacy numbers, then you're likely to drop to about $32 per share. I think that is very unlikely, though. I don't think that is going to happen. I think you're going to get that bullish response, a good efficacy number, and that you will make a move back closer to about $44 or $45 per share to really retest this resistance level. So no, I don't expect a major cratering. I don't expect a major rally, not for tomorrow at least. I do think by the end of the week, though, we will get some kind of announcement on that, but that is really too far out into the future to know for certain until we get a couple more days of trading. So that is really my price prediction. Just to reiterate, we're going to go down, hit that $35 support level, bounce back up to about $37 where we are currently at right now, and then based off of that vaccine news, we're going to either head much higher back to our resistance level or fall under our support level, or just flirt with that. I think we would fall under that, though, just because trading algorithms, and this really has nothing to do with the overall trade. The overall trade still very much intact until the shorts cover, and right now we are actually primed for a rally if this whole situation does go away with the this variant situation. Now, this is something I called out on the live stream, and if you guys want to be part of the live stream today, it's going to be at about 7:30-ish, so definitely hop on there. I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth, but we are incredibly bullish right now because we've seen hundreds of millions of shares that were trading hands for really the past, ever since June. You're seeing that volume dying down, so you guys can think about it like you had a bunch of traders in the stock that were holding on to shares and not really diamond handing the stock, but they were just holding on to shares. Once they started to sell out, it flooded the market with supply time and time again, but people that were really diamond handing their shares kept buying. They kept accumulating those shares. So now there's no shares that are available to really be traded on a mass scale, right? There's shares that can be traded, but not to the same extent it was just a couple of months ago, because the diamond handers, they own the shares. That's why you're seeing the low volume. Once those traders flock back into the stock, that's when you're going to see the major move to the upside, and that is coming any day now. So a lot to be excited about, guys. We'll keep you guys up to date with what exactly is going on, what you guys need to know with the stock. Now, let's move on from that. Let's go to the Ortex data, and we are getting a 15.78% short interest of free float in estimate. This is not true. We just got the exchange reported short interest data for November 15th. As you guys can see, and as I've said multiple times, AMC stock was about $44 November 15th. We actually went from $40 to $44 that day alone. So that was quite a big move to the upside, and we have fallen quite a bit since then. And the number was at 17% then. So I do imagine the number is in between, 18.5 and 19.5% currently. Days to cover was at 2.07 days to cover. I imagine that is also up as well, as the volume is down on the stock. Cost to borrow ratio pretty much the same. Share utilization is the same as 74.95%. So there is a decent amount of shares that can be sold short. Obviously, short sellers, they're not very interested in selling the stock short at the current moment. It's about time they finally learn their lesson, but they set up this massive trade for us, and when that comes, we will be thankful that the short sellers shorted the stock, because they are the ones that printed our massive tendies. Now, as far as the Stocko tracker data, we are obviously still looking at a lot of activity on the December 17th options, about 26,000 for in the money calls and about 234,000 for out of the money calls. And then the January is going to be very important as well, with 125,000 calls that are currently in the money, 301,000 calls that are out of the money. But even if we don't go up too much with AMC stock, there's still 2.6 million shares that have to be hedged at the current moment. If we stayed at $37.63 per share, there's still 2.6 million shares that have to be bought and hedged for by December 17th. So you are going to see some volume coming in from the market makers hedging these shares. And then by January, you're looking at 12.5 million shares that currently would have to be hedged for, not even including these contracts that will eventually run into the money before we get to December 17th or January 21st, 2022. So a lot to be bullish about. And once we get more updates on this COVID variant, I'll bring you guys that information as soon as I get it. I hope you guys understand the significance of the situation. I have no preference on vaccines. Get vaccinated. I don't care what you guys do. Don't get vaccinated. It's not my opinion. It's not my place to give a judgment. I don't care. I care about making you guys money and providing you guys factual information. And unfortunately, this affects our investment directly more than other stocks. So it's something to keep mind of and definitely something to pay attention to. So that is going to be all for this video. Hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, consider sharing this video as well. Hop on the live stream tonight at about 7 o'clock Eastern time. Love to have you love to have you guys over there. Love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Check out the links in the description for free stock, as well as the link for the buy and sell alerts if you want to support the community over there as well. So that is going to be all for this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you in the next one.